Giants is proud to showcase an impressive selection of Europe's leading award-winning health tech innovation startups. And continuing the 9-year record of Giants as a leading magnet for innovation, according to LBC, here's an important selection of superb businesses demonstrating valuable innovations in healthcare. And to support the Giants' mission to improve health and well-being of people around the world by facilitating the acceleration and adoption of helpful technology and innovation. So here we have 4 new companies that are each going to take to the stage. We're going to give you around 7 or 8 minutes each, and then a minute or so for questions. So beginning our first one, if you'd like to come and join me, this is Orassy Health.
Yes, great. Thank you very much.
Over to you.
So welcome, everyone. Actually, we're not a new company. We've just started a new direction. I've been functioning in Canary Wharf area for 14 years, and the main focus has been integrative medicine. And what that actually means from our perspective is that we use biotech as a bridge and platform between complementary alternative traditional medicines and allopathy. So we're using devices that are based on light, sound, electricity, magnetism, Tesla plasma, radio waves, and bioresonant frequencies for fundamentally an assessment procedure and then also therapeutic procedures. And our main focus now is on mind health as a solution to mental health, because mental health has increased globally by 40% to a number which is over 1.2 billion. We've got some statistics here, but it's actually, they date back to 2018 and up to about 2020, 2021. And Mind Health looks at the impact that our thoughts and feelings have on our physiology, and then conversely, the way in which a chronic disorder, anything longer than 6 weeks is considered to be chronic, means your body has not found a way to deal with it naturally. And so consequently, anything that has to do with pain and different forms of suffering, whether it's irritable bowel syndrome, a digestive tract issue, lung issue from asthma, and anything that is related to migraines, etc., all have a particular impact on our overall psychomental and emotional condition. This integrative health approach looks at a rapid, lasting, and sustainable solution to mental health. Just briefly here, it's the 6th largest contributor to non-fatal health globally. In the UK, statistics have shown that 30 million people, equaling to 50% of the population, actually have been registered with one of the 14 major mental health disorders. How common is it? As I said earlier, it was 970 million back in 2018, as you can see here. However, it's gone up to beyond 1.2 billion at the moment. There's also a very high percentage of people with anxiety and stress, which is not manageable under normal circumstances and conditions regarding taking either medication or going to see the conventional approaches or utilizing conventional approaches such as CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, etc., because after around 6 months, people tend to slip back into the condition that they had earlier. We're also looking at the mental health situation in Europe. So at this point in time, the main focus has been Europe, the UK, and the US. And there you will see the cost in 19 to 20 was around 120 billion pounds. And we're looking also, this is the cost to society as a result of absenteeism or the inability of people to manage their stress. There's also the amount of money that's been allocated by Royal College of Psychiatrists for 23-24, which is around 2.4 billion as a solution, and mental health services revenue investment to support COVID-19 recovery was 1 billion. Mental health in Europe is also a high number, costing around 600 billion every single year in euros. We're looking at the situation in the United States, which has increased by 40%, 42 to be exact. As you can see here, it skyrocketed to that number in 2020. And the venture investors poured around 1.5 billion in 2020 to the entire area of mental health. Our solution is we combine two technologies with a fully developed integrative health approach to provide clients and clinicians with easy access to holistic solution and overall health. Basically, the diagnostics utilize a device that activates your fingertips with over 5,000 volts but no amperage, that releases photonic emissions, and the glow from the fingertips is captured, and it represents directly measurement of energy in joules. The assessment of the effects of the emotions and thoughts on our hormonal and our nervous system, hormonal activity and nervous system. And the therapeutic element is a personalized set of binaural beats guided by a visualization 10-cycle holographic music, isochronic tones to provide relaxation, energy recharge. This particular device has been found to be very effective for OCD, ADHD, anxiety, stress, autism, and dementia. It's utilized predominantly in the US in over 3,000 clinics and around 15,000 therapists. We're the representatives here, and I've basically combined two devices, the assessment procedure, which looks at, as I've mentioned, the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system connection and how your body speaks to you and how well you listen to it. So it is a link between our conscious and our subconscious mind. The technology itself is a very quick, simple, accurate, and non-invasive assessment and therapeutic procedure. One measures the body's energy levels in joules by comparing, as I said, the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system and the impact these have on our hormonal and immune system and the metabolic system through the body's electrical activity. The other directly stimulates neurons in the brain through the eyes and ears, and then offers reprogramming via left-right brain hemisphere entrainment through sound and music. Both are 100% natural and safe, and zero side effects other than to successfully help people to improve and manage their overall mental and emotional conditions. So the diagnostic element allows us to look at the effects of the psycho-emotional condition on the physical body and what stressors are causing the biggest problem at that point in time. It's a snapshot of where you are in real time. It maps out the functioning, the sympathetic, parasympathetic parts of the autonomic nervous system in order to see how well these two systems are working. The incoherence between parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems is what we refer to as stress. So depending on which organ or body system we find the highest stress in, we can trace the cause to effect for both the psycho-emotional as well as the physical conditions that lead to illness. So there are other features here, how we differentiate. Conventional physical and medical checkups cannot detect a person's mental or emotional state. The combination of data and information from our different technologies enables us to gather and compile a rapid, accurate snapshot of a person's condition. The in-depth insight into a person's current health and life state indicates what needs to be addressed immediately instead of waiting weeks or months before the symptom appears on a physical level as an illness. And finally, it's a one kind of app that combines the best self-help information and nutritional advice. That's actually what we are working on at this point in time. So that's what we are busy with. And Mind Health looks at, as I said, a more comprehensive and total perspective of the way in which our thoughts and feelings impact our physiology and how our physiology is also impacting our psychomental and emotional conditions. Thank you, everyone, for that.
Thank you very much indeed. That was quite a canter. What amazing developments and what amazing opportunity as well. I congratulate you and your colleagues on everything that you're developing.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Any questions? We have one over there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for a fascinating talk. You said that your device measures in joules the hormonal, metabolic, and nervous system.
Yes.
Can you quantify which system is contributing to the pathology?
I'm having a bit of difficulty hearing the last part of the question. It's a lot of noise.
Can you quantify which system is contributing to the pathology from the hormonal, metabolic, and nervous system?
Yeah, so the impact of our hormonal system on the nervous system is what it is that we're looking at. So what we've done is taken algorithms based on the glow, which is basically photonic emissions. And if you want to know exactly how it works, you can come downstairs because we've got a stall at, what is it, F8? And we can give you a go. Very welcome to show you all the details there, because I don't think we have a lot of time.
Superb answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time for one last quick question, anybody? Yep.
Is it medical device? Is it proven to work? And what's our distribution model?
Yeah, so it's CE approved. The therapeutic device is developed in the United States of America, so it has the FDA approval as a device and also a CE approval. And the diagnostic, or we just like to call it an assessment procedure, is also considered, I think it's class 2 medical device. It's an assessment procedure. It's not therapeutic. Yeah, and it's established in the EU. Yeah.
Look, thank you so much. Time's up. I feel really guilty because I'm sure if we'd have given you more time, you could have got into some more details. Quite a canter through there, so thank you very much. Fascinating work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And remember, there's a stall downstairs if you'd like to go and talk.
Yeah.
Please do. Thank you very much.
F8, was it? F8? F4. Sorry, it's F4. That's
Orassy Health.
Orassy Health, that's the one.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you very much. And if I can ask our next presenter to come up now from IntelliProve, Johan?
All right, everyone. Hello, my name is Juri Tulkens. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of IntelliProve, and I'm very happy to present you today our company, which is a real game changer in the medical world, health tech sector, by video-based health monitoring. When it comes to our tagline, we are quite bold, but that's because we are very proud of what we developed. In fact, we developed the most powerful contactless mental health assessment algorithm ever made. On the bottom of the slide, you can see already some of our partners. I think one of the most important partners is the Technical University of Delft, which is in fact in Europe the reference in terms of biomedical signal processing, which is the cornerstone of our technology. These are current ways of assessing mental health on online solutions, such as applications, dashboards, or platforms. And we are talking about endless surveys, wearables, or other medical devices that always should be coupled to these solutions, or in 80 to 90% of the cases, very simple emoticons, where a user has to press on it to express his feelings. Let me say this is very limited. It's outdated, and most important, this is completely non-engaging. It's not motivating for the end user. And this is the exact reason why we started IntelliProve. IntelliProve is an optical software technology to measure health parameters, both physiological but also mental health parameters, by performing a brief facial health scan. It's a health scan that is very fast, within 30 seconds, completely contactless, and without the need of any additional medical device or wearable. The only thing an end user needs is a device with a simple camera. This can be a smartphone, can be a tablet, can also be your laptop using your webcam camera. It is not as a separate app that we end up in the market, but it's really as a software tool to integrate directly into an external healthcare platform, application, or dashboard. At the core of our technology lies a cutting-edge technology, AI engine. In fact, what we are doing, we take a look to small color changes in the face of the patient or the user. And these color changes are invisible to the naked eye, but they can be nicely observed by a camera of a smartphone or a tablet. And these color changes originate from the rhythmic pulsing of the heart. So every time your heart pumps, blood is distributed towards the blood vessels of your body, so also the blood vessels of your face. And this gives small color changes. Starting from these color changes, we then extract biomedical signals. An example of such a biomedical signal is a photoplethysmogram. It's a PPG signal. It's exactly the same signal that comes out of a pulse oximeter, like the clip around your finger in the hospital. Using these biomedical signals, we then extract health parameters, physiological but also mental health parameters, by performing signal processing and machine learning. In the beginning, just prior to every health check, a quality check is performed. We just take a look to environmental factors. Is the lighting good enough? Is the distance of the face and the camera good enough? And so on. So using our technology, we are able to measure 8 different biomarkers, such as heart rate, respiratory rate, heart rate variability, and so on. And using these biomarkers, our clients are able to create a well-being state of the user. And we are talking about physical health, mental health, energy and sleep, and mindfulness. For example, our clients in the mental health space are using heart rate variability, autonomous nervous system balance, acute mental stress score, and mental health risk. A little bit more information about the engine itself. Our engine is currently trained and validated on more than 1 million data points. In fact, it's 1.1 million different patients where a comparative analysis was performed between our engine, the face scan, compared to reference devices or reference questionnaires. Reference devices can be pulse oximeter. Reference questionnaire can be PSS, GAD-7, PHQ-9. In that way, we can have a nice idea about accuracy, but also precision of our engine. On this moment, we have an overall accuracy of 94%. If we can really express that quantitatively, we do that. For example, for heart rate, we have a mean absolute error of only 2.10 beats per minute. We are on this moment fully GDPR compliant. We expect our ISO 27001 certificate at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And although it's written submitted, we are currently CE marked as a medical device. So as I told you before, it's not a separate app that we enter into the market. It's really as an API or an SDK toolkit, a plug-and-play solution to enter, to integrate directly, to embed into an online healthcare platform, application, or dashboard. Our clients are currently active in three different markets, I can say it like that. Telehealth, really like online teleconsultation, medical doctor, patient on a distance through the webcam of your laptop, for example. On a web shop of health supplements, also other health products. And then our biggest market is the digital mental health care space. Really mental health care apps that are integrating our technology as a very powerful mental health check or assessment. So IntelliProve is embedded by our clients in less than 1 day. And from the moment that we come into an agreement with our clients, 3 different steps will occur. First, the first step, technical onboarding. There is a technical integration step, also a product workshop. Then we have the integration itself. It takes more or less 4 hours. And now, last but not least, there is the testing phase. 2 hours, 53 health checks that are also offered to our clients, just to be sure that the health check is well embedded into the solution of our clients. And this is, of course, the reason why I'm loving my job. Happy clients. Just to take one quote, it's like, health checks enrich our solution with clinically validated insights. It's really a motivating and intuitive piece of tech. And this is the exact reason why we are currently entering, for example, digital mental health care space. And we try to quantify that with numbers. Only 3 months after integrating IntelliProve, we see, for example, an increase of the users with our clients of 13%, but also an increase in user engagement of 20%. And this is our team. One of my team members is over there. A very enthusiastic team, also a diverse team. I'm mainly responsible for the medical parts, but of course I also have some technical guys and some guys from the business and the sales side. And it's due to this team that we were able to win already some awards. This year we were mentioned as the world's top health tech startup. And this is, of course, why I'm doing it. Clients that describe our tool as a game changer for their organization and by extension for the entire healthcare sector. And that's the reason why I'm saying, let's continue with IntelliProve and save human lives by improving health monitoring. I thank you for your attention.
Fascinating work by you and your team, and the potential is just huge. It's amazing to see. While we have a minute or two, any questions for our guest? Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and it's very interesting to see the number of people you've tried out on. I'm curious to understand roughly what the diversity is of the number of patients and how you're ensuring that there aren't biases within the algorithm and how it's suggesting diagnoses. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very relevant question. So on this moment, it's validated on more than 1 million data points, and we try to be as diverse as possible. Try to play a little bit with variables like gender, age, clinical condition, skin tone, and so on. On this moment, we can say, for example, for skin tone, people with really dark skin tone, it's not that we see like a decrease in accuracy and precision, but this is really this was the cornerstone of our R&D, to be sure that our technology is not discriminating for a certain part of the population. So on this moment, we can say that it's compatible for the whole population. Yeah.
Thank you. more. Yes, down here at the front. Oh, see. One there, and then very quickly one at the front. Thank
I'll
you.
be quick. Thank you so much for the presentation. Really interesting. How usable is it? How easily are people able to get, staying still so their face isn't moving and the light is correct and everything like that?
Of course, it's a medical device, so it's not just a tool that you can do like on the street or something like that. So we ask some requirements. That's also the reason why we have a quality check. The quality check is really checking, is the lighting condition good enough? Is the patient not moving or talking too much? Is the distance good enough? And we are quite strict into that. We are also transparent in it. If some of the things are not okay, for example, you are doing it really when it's dark, you will not pass the quality check. You will not be able to perform the measurements. We guarantee you the accuracy levels if the quality check is passed. So yeah, we are quite strict in it. It's not that you have to be, that you need like an external light source or something like that. You can do it just, for example, over here, I should be able to do it. Yeah.
Just quickly, once you collect this data, what do you suggest then to, how does that translate into what the users then do with that data? How do you integrate?
Yeah, it really depends from client to client. In most of the cases, it's really a health assessment, and this is a starting point for a digital mental health care application, for example, to guide your user in a more personalized way. On this moment, you have to fill in a lot of questions, and this is a starting point. For example, you assess a certain risk profile, and then you say, okay, maybe you can use this survey that service that I'm offering, or I should connect you to the healthcare provider. This health check is really the starting points. You say, okay, this is the current situation. If you want to improve that, for example, you connect with the healthcare provider, or do that breathing exercise, or read that blog post, for example. It can be very broad. We give the biomarkers, but then it's up to the platform or the healthcare provider to decide what they are going to do with it. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed for your questions. Thank you for a fascinating presentation, and good luck with the rest of your work. Great pleasure now for me to invite Elizabeth from Moonbird.
Good afternoon, everyone. Imagine having a personal breathing coach, but in your pocket. Guiding you through the stress of a traffic jam or the discomfort of another sleepless night. That's Moonbird for you. Not just a device, but an intuitive companion that brings the art of slow breathing into the palm of your hand. The company was founded in 2019 by Michael and Stephanie, brother and sister duo, and it's a health tech startup based in Antwerp in Belgium. And together we form a team of 8 full-time employees today, supported by interns and students. And our main goal is to give people a moment of peace, whatever and wherever they need it. And we're doing this by making breathing exercises more accessible, fun, and easy. We want to give every person the help to calm down, to relax, and to sleep better. And this is why we developed the Moonbird device. So it's a tactile and portable breathing device that guides breathing exercises in the palm of your hand. It expands and contracts while holding it in your hand to a very slow rhythm, so you can easily follow along. It was co-developed with clinicians, doctors, therapists, breathing coaches. And it has a built-in PPG sensor that registers your cardiac activity and can give you biofeedback in real time. So it also comes with an application, and the main function of the application is to follow the biofeedback I was talking about, check the impact of your breathing exercises on your body in real time. But you can also use the app to listen to audio guides on sleep, on anxiety, on stress, for instance. But you can also use it to set a rhythm. To set a rhythm, you can breathe along to using the device as well, or to set reminders or receive tips. You can also use the device without the application via the wake and shake function. So you simply have to shake the device lightly, put your thumb on the sensor, hold it there, and after a few seconds, the device will start the exercise. After the device is finished, it will automatically shut down the device. So now let's dive into the science behind Moonbird. Well, all of us at some point in our lives experience stress. It's very normal. but in some situations it can even be useful. But sometimes it can also become chronic. For instance, when we're pushing the gas pedal in life, constantly always going through the limits. And chronic stress can sometimes result in severe complaints or even in disease. And to avoid this, we will have to look into our own lifestyle, we'll have to look into our own habits, and we will have to press the brake pedal on our internal system before our system does it for us. Well, and research has shown that practicing slow breathing exercises can have an immediate calming effect on the mind and the body. For instance, practicing slow breathing can increase heart rate variability, or HRV, which is the variation between consecutive heartbeats. And HRV is a measure of your body's ability to withstand stress and to bounce back. So, as shown here on the graph, if you're breathing more slowly and more controlled, like here, your heart rate variability will increase. And simply put, the higher your HRV, the more resilient that you are. But what does it exactly mean, breathing slowly? When are you breathing slowly? Well, studies have found that the ideal breathing rate for which your HRV is maximal typically lies between 5 and 7 breaths per minute for adults. So this means that breathing at this slow pace will increase your HRV and will help you to calm down. But in practice, of course, actually nobody breathes automatically at this slow pace. In fact, adults breathe at around 15 to 20 breaths per minute normally. And even if you count the seconds in your head, it's still very difficult to maintain a slow breathing rate for even a longer period of time. Well, and that's why it's easier to let yourself be guided. And studies show that it's also more effective too. So they found that externally guided exercises are more effective in increasing HRV compared to self-guided exercises. And that's where Moonbird comes in. So we have also conducted some studies on Moonbird itself, and I will now highlight 2 important ones. One was focusing on the effects of sleep in 40 participants with insomnia that used the Moonbird for 1 month daily. And we found significant improvements in sleep quality, in sleep duration, sleep latency, daytime functioning, and also feeling rested upon waking. And the improvements in sleep quality and restfulness appeared in over 80% of our users. In addition, we conducted case studies together with a psychological facility. We followed 6 clients with various psychological complaints ranging from depression, burnout, sleeping problems, eating disorders, anxiety, stress to autism spectrum. And they implemented breathing exercises with Moonbird into their cognitive behavioral therapy. It was personalized for each person. They had used the Moonbird for at least 1 month daily. And we found that implementing Moonbird into cognitive behavioral therapy proved to be feasible. We received positive experiences and positive effects, and especially, again, improved sleep. So apart from the research that we conducted already and the ongoing studies, we are actively seeking to broaden our impact and deepen our scientific understanding. So we're looking for different ways to collaborate, looking to set up studies to validate our product, to broaden our impact, to spreading awareness. So we're working together with medical and research institutions, clinical partners, scientific advisors, and clinical ambassadors. We mainly focus in the area of stress, anxiety, sleep, and neurodiversity. So if you're interested to hear more, if you like to collaborate or hear more about our research, our studies, or our company and our products, don't hesitate to come by. We're at stand F10 down here in the gallery hall. Thank you for your attention, and please do let me know if you have any questions, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Congratulations, Elizabeth. That was a brilliant presentation and an absolutely fabulous use of technology in such a practical but such a broad way. Can I ask, has anybody in the audience got any questions for Elizabeth while she's here? Well, all the presentations have been fantastic, Elizabeth. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Good luck
Have a
with the
nice
rest of
day.
your work, and remember, they're downstairs in the hall at F10. So our last speaker for this session, and forgive me, we didn't get a chance to be introduced, so I don't know your name. Jan Smith. Jan, you're very welcome. And you're going to talk to us about MindYourself App. Great name.
Hi everyone. So I'm here to talk about MindYourself. MindYourself was developed using a step care model, so prevention, intervention and treatment, specifically for workers. We've heard already by the amazing presentations that the mental health of everyone globally is getting worse, but also we know that the mental health of health and care workers is also increasing, with issues of retention, recruitment, and also suicidality. How we developed this is, I'm a clinician, so we looked at the barriers that impact on why people don't reach out for help. So we've heard all the campaigns. If you're struggling, if you want support from HR, from campaigns, reach out and we'll support you. And while the messaging of that is great, what happens is people don't reach out for support. And they don't reach out for our support, particularly across health and care, due to the stigma that they feel, but also areas of emotional literacy where they don't necessarily know the language to use in how they feel. They just know that something's not quite right. And also the fear of what might happen when they do reach out. So our solution is prevention, intervention, and treatment. And according to the World Health Organization, using proactive approaches like prevention and intervention should be the first step before people then are offered treatment. So this is our prevention tool. And how this works is it's tools that anyone can use, particularly when they're short on time, so in under 5, 10, 15 minutes or longer. When I go into organizations and I say, right, how are we going to help you all support your mental health? People say to me for years, Jan, we can't get through the tasks that we already have to do, never mind look after ourselves. So using neurobiology and ACT and CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, we develop tools then that people can use when they're walking down the corridor, when they're in between consultations, or when they're short on time. It also tracks their progress, and it's profession specific. So within the prevention space, there are situations that you all will encounter in your role, in your profession, and everyone then is coached specifically on what those are and how to manage them. So the intervention bit is peer support. And so what the user does is they go on to the app and they are matched to someone within their industry that can be trained from either their own organization that we deliver training, or they can come from our organization that we train as well. And so what we do then is we are also aware that while this is a bottom-up approach, so it's very much for the individual, actually things like burnout, anxiety are largely contributed through the work environment that people are in. So what we do is we gather the data from the app and anonymize it, and then we feed that data back to the organization to then show them the psychosocial risk hazards that their workers are experiencing and recommend solutions on how they can address those. We also then evaluate the uptake, so we know that while initiatives are in place, that actually people don't reach out for support, and so we evaluate why from a behavior change point of view. So this is some data from, we recently completed evaluating for junior doctors, And so what they shared was it increased their knowledge, but also their skills in being able to manage their own mental health and also implement that when they needed it the most. Interestingly, what we weren't expecting was the different ways that people used it. So one of our KPIs isn't that people use this every day, it's that they use it when they need it the most. And so what we learned from that was people used it to facilitate conversations. If they didn't have the language or didn't know how to have that conversation, MindYourself was used as a facilitator. But also when people were lone working, they were able to use it to have that support and that companion. And when people were working night shift. So as one clinician shared, it was a newly qualified doctor. First time that they had the pager on their own in the hospital, they felt really isolated. They were overwhelmed, understandably. And so they were able to go in, have a couple of moments to implement some of the tools to help them regulate and contain. So we launched the prevention aspect of the app, the version 1, in June 2022. And we launched the next version, which was the intervention, last month. We're developing then the treatment, which again is a matching to therapists, psychologists, and we've also partnered with a company to be able to provide virtual reality treatment, and that can either sit in well-being hubs in organizations, or that can be delivered to individual users that they can overcome some of those barriers to stigma and get help when they need it the most. We're downstairs, we're just next door to Moonbird, so come and say hi, and if you've got any questions, please reach out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jen. I've been a CEO of mission-critical companies for 25 years, working with people who are examples of some of your patients that are using the app. I think being the CEO, two of the biggest privileges in life is people come and share their most intimate parts of their lives. And the other one is, I never, ever, ever wanted anyone to go home upset or not happy. And of course, that's not within my gift. So the work that you've done is just, I'm just absolutely amazed, because hearing about that 5 minutes, I don't know about you, but I've needed 5 minutes, I've had days where it's just not okay. So, I mean, this sort of work is incredibly powerful and important, and I commend you and everybody that's working on it, because it's really going to make an incredible difference. But look, that was Chairman's privilege, and thank you. But can I ask the audience, while Jan's here, would anybody like to take the opportunity to speak with her? Well, we know you're downstairs, and we're not going to miss you in that great green top. So, look, well done. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you to our audience for being with us.